And let me tell you, your English is perfect. It's a lot better than my German. So it is no problem at all. But you're sounding good back this side. Conditions this time. The transceiver is the Yaesu FTDX 9000D. The microphone is by Heil. It's the Heil PR40. It's running through several audio racks with a bandwidth of about 4K. And about 600 whiskies into an original Avanti PDL2 on the vertical side at the moment, beaming towards Europe. Roger. Yeah, no problem at all there, 100%. It's working great for you. Yeah, the 7300 is a great radio. I actually tried to purchase one the other day, but I missed it for the mobile there because they're great rates. Always work very, very well and sound good too, and very easy to set up. And the scope is quite accurate on them as well. So yeah, it sounds good. So yeah, that inverted V covers several frequencies, judging by the length. Only Roger. Oh, Volkswagen, yeah. Roger, yeah, no problem. Yeah, 100% there. So that's it. Yeah, nice area in there. Anyhow, yeah, we operate this one nightly over here in the 2-9 division. Usually a bit later than this. We come on about 10:30, which is just actually approaching now. So there you go. Good to hear you in anyhow. And we have an online Facebook page. It's FNZ Ireland. November Zulu stands for 0, so have a look at that if you so wish. So yeah, good to hear you, Chris. Anyhow, and the weather over here today, I think was about 16 degrees. It's warming up slowly. The weather was very poor this year so far, but eventually it's starting to settle down. As is the pandemic end of things, everything is beginning to reopen this weekend over here. Bars and one thing and another, and restaurants. So there's a lot of people out this weekend over here, Chris. Roger. Just a moment.
España, cambio. Hola, CQDX, CQ. Hola, 17, CQ. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta, llama, cambio. Hola, CQ de X, CQ, CQ, CQ. Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta llama. Hola, CQ, CQ. EA7, Julie, Bravo Delta, en Málaga, sur de España, over. Hola CQ, hola CQ. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Hola CQ, CQ, CQ. Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta llama. Hola CQ, CQ. 7, Julie, Bravo Delta, Málaga, sur de España, cambio.
Bravo Delta, Eco Alfa 7, Bravo Delta. Yucatán, Nicaragua, Japan, Eco 1 Sierra Yankee November, over.
Sí, hola, la estación que llama, buenas noches. Soy Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Mi nombre es José y estoy en Málaga, sur de España. Hola, la estación que llama para Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. José, Málaga, sur de España, cambio. Hola CQ, hola Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Hola CQ, CQ, CQ. Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Málaga, sur de España llama, cambio. Hola CQ, hola CQ. Eco Alfa número 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Hola CQ, CQ, CQ. 7, Julie, Bravo Delta, en Málaga, sur de España, over. CQ, hola CQ. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta. Eco Alfa 7, Julie, Bravo Delta llama. Hola CQ, CQ. 7, Julie, Bravo Delta, Málaga, sur de España, cambio. Xilófono Eco 1. Xilófono Eco 1, buenas noches. Buenas tardes. Soy Eco Alfa 7, Julie Bravo Delta. Mi nombre es José. Estoy en Málaga, sur de España. ¿Tú me recibes, cambio? Xilófono Eco 1, xilófono Romeo, muy bien copiado. Tengo estaciones que hay muy cercanas acá en la frecuencia, pero te copio muy bien, ningún problema. Yo me encuentro en Málaga, sur de España. Te copio bien, tu señal 5758 y te copio muy fuerte. Mi nombre es José Antonio, me encuentro en Málaga, sur de España. Soy Eco Alfa 7, Julie Bravo Delta. Mi nombre es José Antonio. Ok, xilófono Eco 1, xilófono Romeo. Eco Alfa 7, Julie Bravo Delta. ¿Tú me copias? Cambio, over. Ok, un fuerte abrazo. Te copio muy bien, ningún problema. Un fuerte abrazo, pásalo bien, cambio.
Il aura pour adversaire l'Espagnol Davidovich Fokina. So, and then if you go on, for instance, if you go on a short video platform and you watch a show about Jackie Chan, maybe in the next time you turn on this app. There are many things that an algorithm can do. There are many good things that an algorithm can do. Vagy el akar költözni egy másik államba. És még egy utolsó példa Konfuciusz humorára. Az előző...
On the spec, you look at the spec, it says 13.8 plus or minus. Yeah, I think that's well, I've got that P100 as well. And that, I get the audio is horrible. Ray probably using the same device to do that. Mark 2 786, so ist es, weil die Schalter heute auch gar nicht mehr von außen irgendwie festgeschraubt sind. Okay. Ja, in der Tat, nicht? Dann, wenn du so von dichten Was der Teufel, ne? Aber wer weiß, was passiert ja gerade bei denjenigen, die so reagieren. Aber das ist gut, mit Vanillesoße. Nee. Experimente, das weißt du genau, dass das nicht von Erfolg gekrönt ist. And I thought that was fortune over. Well, it was a fortune, I suppose, really, if you think about it there, but yeah, all those old notes, when you think back at them, they were huge,
During its Eclipse Festival this month, Jack Parker, W8IS, shows us how to get involved. HAMS's shortwave listeners around the world have been invited to the largest solar eclipse festival being held by HAMSci to gather data using their HF radios and a computer running open source software. Radio operators are being asked to record the time standard stations during the annular solar eclipse across the Arctic Circle. It's an experiment that runs from the 7th to the 12th of June. The annular phase of the eclipse will be visible from parts of northern Canada, Russia, and Greenland. A partial eclipse is likely to be visible, weather permitting, in Europe, northern Asia, and the United States. The crowdsourced data from citizen scientists will help researchers study the superimposed effects of auroral particle precipitation and the eclipse of HF Doppler shift. Radio operators around the world are invited to sign up and take part. All participants will receive QSL certificates as well as the findings of the data's analysts. The primary beacon for the experiment will be the Russian Time Standard Station, RWM, on 9.996 megahertz. If your radio cannot receive this frequency, try 10 megahertz WWV or another station listed on the HAMSci website. The instructions on how to participate in this festival of frequency measurement can be found at hamsci.org. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jack Parker, W8ISH.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the NM5 EM repeater in Grants, New Mexico, on Thursdays at 8 p.m. local time. You are listening to CQ Serenade on shortwaveradio.de. As so many hams know, a soaring new tower isn't always the most welcome sight in some neighborhoods. Of course, if the neighborhood happens to be the largest city in Turkey, that's a different story. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, tells us why.
The Chumli-Jar TV radio tower in Istanbul stands 369 meters tall, or 1,210 feet tall. A futuristic state-of-the-art structure being heralded as the tallest telecommunications tower in Europe. At its inauguration in late May, Turkish President Erdogan praised the high-tech structure for its ability to carry 100 FM broadcasts simultaneously, noting that it replaces numerous outdated facilities that had previously stood on the same hill. The massive older towers had long been criticized as marring the city's skyline and posing health risks for city residents. Construction began on the new tower in 2016 in the hopes it would also be a magnet for tourism in the city. The tower is located on the Asian side of the city, and its highest point is more than 580 meters or 1,900 feet above sea level. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
An invitation has been extended to hams in Ireland to attend an Irish festival in Wisconsin via radio, and the guests' replies are starting to come in. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, brings us up to date.
The popular Irish Fest in La Crosse, Wisconsin is making a comeback this August, and this year the festival will be bringing Ireland to Wisconsin in a new way. The Riverland Amateur Radio Club W9UP has invited a number of Irish amateur radio clubs to join in the activity on the Mississippi riverfront. Irish Fest trustee Sean Hicks, KD9KGQ, a board member of the Riverland Club, told Newsline that he has already received a positive response from the Shannon Basin Radio Club and the East Leinster Amateur Radio Club. He said, while Irish music, games and storytelling will be part of the usual attractions, festival attendees will also get an opportunity to hear from hams in Ireland and to experience amateur radio. In his invitation sent to various ham clubs based in Ireland, Sean wrote, quote, "Our radio club members will be more than eager to make DX contacts into Ireland, but we would like our hams to partner with a Fest attendee and give them an opportunity to chat with you. This would give them a chance to learn a little bit about the region in Ireland that you live in, and a chance for you to learn about us as well," end quote. The club will be on the air at the festival on August the 14th from 1600 to 2200 UTC on 14.260 MHz, and will also conduct QSOs with the hams in Ireland via Yaesu Fusion Wires X Room 63956. Sean said if clubs want to meet in a different Wires X room, that will also be possible. Hams in Ireland may contact Sean at eistim68@gmail.com. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A special event station is about to get underway in Hawaii, marking the legacy of a beloved monarch. John Williams, VK4JJW, explains.
The 19th century Hawaiian King Kamehameha, who is celebrated for having united the islands of Hawaii in 1810, would no doubt appreciate the spirit of the day on Friday, June 11th. On that day, amateur radio operators will be working in unison as special event station K6K, honouring the leader, warrior, businessman and diplomat whose vision for the islands kept Western explorers from encroaching on their territories. As envisaged by Michael Miller, KH6ML, the special event station will carry the King's story around the world as operators on the various islands make as many contacts as possible. This is not a contest, and there are no paper QSL cards. However, downloadable certificates will be available. For more details, visit the QRZ page of K6K. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm John Williams, VK4JJW.
The Radio Society of Great Britain wants new team members on its news service to read reports from around the UK and the world for local hams. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us how to get involved.
One of the latest news items from the Radio Society of Great Britain is about ham radio itself. The Society is looking for amateurs who would like to join their team of newsreaders, sharing updates on events, solar forecasts and issues of concern to hams throughout the UK and around the world. A new video on the Society's website and on their YouTube channel explains the newsreaders' roles with the GB2RS news service. The Society currently has more than 100 newsreaders delivering transmissions every week on Sunday, a tradition that began in September of 1955. News reports are heard on HF, analogue and digital HF and UHF repeaters, as well as through amateur TV transmissions. The reports are also transmitted via the QO100 satellite. Hams with online access can hear the reports via podcasts and video presentations. For more details or to watch the video, follow the link in this week's printed script of this newscast at arnewsline.org. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Wherever you are in the world, get ready for the return of the Fox Mike Hotel Portable Ops Challenge coming September 4th and 5th. The contest is designed to create equal operating conditions between portable and fixed stations. For details, visit foxmikehotel.com. Finally, we ask, do you love solving a good mystery? Scientists think they may be getting ready to do just that. They're hot on the trail of some mysterious and intensely fast radio signals. Here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, with the details.
Fast radio bursts. No, it's not the signal report you dream of getting from that rare DX somewhere in the Antarctic. These are the formerly mysterious deep space signals astronomers have been tracking using NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. Notice we said formerly mysterious. For years, scientists scratched their heads over the source of these 1,000 or so powerful blasts, which began showing up in 2001. They are, however, so fast that they're here and then they're not. According to a report in CBS News, scientists have traced only 15 of them, and they apparently came from distant galaxies. New findings about to be published in the Astrophysical Journal track 5 of the most recent radio blast to the so-called spiral arms of the galaxies, the places where stars form, but not from young stars exploding and dying. Rather, the blast's origins appear to be from neutron stars, young magnetars that have powerful magnetic fields. While this doesn't completely solve the mystery, it does narrow things down quite a bit, and that's no small task. This is the kind of power we hams can only envy. In the 1,000th of a second it takes these flares to erupt, they create as much energy as the sun does in a year. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
With thanks to Amateur News Weekly, AMSAT, the ARRL, Bangalore Mirror, Brussels Times, CBS, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, East Greenbush Amateur Radio Association, the European Space Agency, the FCC, HAMSI, Hudson Valley Digital Network, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MSN.com, New York Times, Ohio Penn DX Newsletter, QRZ.com, the Radio Society of Great Britain, Radio World, Ronald Panetta, WB2WGH, Southgate Amateur Radio News, ShortWaveRadio.de, Ted Randall's QSO Radio Show, Space News, Veron, WTWW Shortwave, and you, our listeners, that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. You can write to us at newsline@arnewsline.org. For more information or to support us, visit our official website at arnewsline.org. Be sure to follow some of these stories as they get a more in-depth look on the YouTube channel of 100 Watts and a Wire. Search for the video segment with the title, Two Stories. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening.
Well, it appears that the 10-metre band has been buzzing on and off for the last few weeks. Well, here to tell us more is our 10-metre aficionado, Tony Dixon, G4CJC.
Tony, G4CJC's 10-metre report. A week of 3 halves. Sounds odd, but there you go. It started well and ended well, but the middle was a tad short on activity. Nevertheless, I had to increase the contacts to 6 to get into the list. I didn't work like I've been playing with a new feeder for the Wyndham, and at the moment I just can't be bothered to pin it to the wall outside. The source after stations were YL21ICE, a Latvian ice hockey special station, 3Z1921, PS, Poland specials, IU5GBQ, the Italian station, and D4Z, the Cape Verde contest station, with E77A, Bosnia and Herzegovina also being popular. Contest for this week. Information from WA7BMN. Walk for the Bacon QRP contest. The CWOps Mini CW test. The NRAU 10-metre activity contest. SKCC Sprint Europe. P0DXS 070 Club 3-day weekend contest, the 1010 International Open Season PSK contest, PVRC Reunion, Digifest, Can-Ham contest, a Teasers Cup CW contest, the Kentucky QSO party, the RSGB National Field Day, a Cookie Crumble QRP contest, the Worldwide Sideband Activity contest. There you go. That's it for the week. Upcoming activity is not guaranteed to be on 10 metres, and this information is from NG3K, DXWatch.com, and 425DX News. April 25th to June 25th. DXCS Somalia. Call sign 60100. QSL CQRZ.com. Information by EP3CQ from Mogadishu. HF mainly, with FT8, and it's a spare time operation, so you just gotta listen. May 28th of June 11th, Christmas Island, DXCC that is. The call sign is VK9XX, QSL EB8DX. Information by VK6SJ from IOTA OC002. Focus on 80, 40 and 30 meters, mainly FT8. Wire antenna, perhaps a vertical. QRV, local mornings and evenings. May 30th to June 30th. GXCC is Tonga. Call sign A35JP. QSL by Log of the World. Information by JA0RQV from Tongatapu. 60 through 6 meters. CWSSB FT8. QSL via Club Log. OQRS. See the web for details. Dates may change due to COVID-19. Now to the sun. Just 2 sunspots visible at the moment. Middlesex Cricket Club managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory against Leicester. We just could not bowl them out. We had a good score, first and second innings, but no, we just could not get them out. We are now bottom of the second division. England against New Zealand starts today, Wednesday, the 2nd of June, at Lord's Ground. So, if you've got Sky, you can watch it, because it's on Sky TV. This has been Tony Dixon, G4CJC, for Southgate Amateur Radio News.
Radio. The budding new amateur asked the question, what radio should I buy? It's a common question, one I asked a decade ago. Over the years, I've made several attempts at answering this innocent introduction into our community. And as I've said before, the answer is simple, but unhelpful. It depends. Rather than explaining the various things it depends on, I'm going to attempt a different approach, and in no particular order, ask you some things to consider and answer for yourself in your journey towards an answer that is tailored specifically to your situation. What's your budget? How much money you have set aside for this experiment is a great start. In addition to training and license costs, you'll need to consider things like shipping, import duties and insurance, power leads and a power supply, coax leads and connectors, and last but not least, adapters, antennas and accessories. Should you buy second-hand or pre-loved? If you have electronics experience that you can use to fix a problem with your new-to-you toy, this is absolutely an option. When you're looking around, check the provenance associated with equipment and avoid something